Well, at the very same time, it's been revealed that support for the monarchy has dropped to its lowest level since records began. The National Centre for Social Research found that just 51% of Brits think that the institution of the monarchy is very important or quite important, compared to 86% in 1983. So that's as support for the outright abolition of the monarchy has gone up from just 3% in the 80s to 15% in 2025. Does this mean that the royals need to take drastic action to bolster support? So could it be that Prince Harry rejoining would be exactly the thing that they most need? Let's start with Cristo. What do you think?
No, I think that the reason, well, there's two reasons. Firstly, I think that the late Queen Elizabeth, any successor to the late Queen Elizabeth was going to have a tough job, and I think that that's part of why the monarchy is less popular. But to the Prince Harry question, the other reason that I think the monarchy is less popular is because of the grenades that he has constantly been throwing at the family via the book Spare, where he spoke constantly about intimate conversations that he'd had completely invading the privacy of his brother and his father and other family members, whilst bleating on about his own privacy being invaded. The fact that there have been these accusations of racism, the fact that every single thing that he's done concerning the monarchy in recent years, he and Meghan have tried to monetize through, cookery shows and other stuff. So I would argue that that is one of the reasons that the monarchy has been damaged. And by bringing him back into the fold, you could never trust he wouldn't keep doing that.
Hannah, what do you think? Because they obviously need something.
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult with Harry because I do think the public have a soft spot for him. He's everyone's wayward brother, son, Jack the Lad. We watched him in his teenage years. Everyone remembers those really heartbreaking images of him walking behind his mother's coffin with a little envelope saying mummy. And I think that everyone wants to see him reunite with his dad, or a lot of people do, and even his brother. So I think him meeting up with Charles, even for 45 minutes for a cup of tea, how British, is seen as a bit of a success for him. But Cristo is right. I don't know where the trust is there anymore.
What do you think? I mean, I don't know, are you a royalist or you're a monarchist?
I love the royal family. There's not a book I haven't read, there's not a YouTube video I haven't watched. I love them. I don't think they need him back. I think Zara and Mike could be brought to the forefront. I feel like they are the bridge between...
So this is Zara Tindall you're talking about. This is
Mike
Princess
Tindall.
Anne, the Princess Royal's daughter, and her husband, Mike Tindall.
I think I've been lucky enough to meet them and spend the day with them at the Derby, and they are the most down-to-earth, lovely people. And I think they bridge the gap between like the aristocracy and the normal people, because Mike doing I'm a Celebrity and that sort of thing. I think they are the secret weapon, I think. But I think, like you say, for people that want privacy, Harry and Meghan do a lot of interviews.
I mean, it's been said that Harry won't breathe a word after yesterday's meeting. All he said to journalists was, yes, my father's great. It has been said that the royal family aren't going to comment at all. The Queen won't say a word, the King won't say a word, and Harry also won't say a word. Do you think, Cristo, he can be trusted to keep mum, as they say?
No. I mean, because let's not forget the last time that we heard from Harry in an interview, he said that he didn't know how much longer his father has left. I mean, that is a really intimate piece of health information. He's given interviews about how after Prince Philip's funeral they had this conversation, which was, I think, supposed to be kept quiet, of how his future in the monarchy would go. He can't be trusted not to try and monetize these conversations. I would have him sign an NDA if I was meeting. Seriously.
Don't you think, Hannah, though, if somehow, by some miracle, they were to rekindle their relationship and Harry and Meghan were even to make visits to this country and, they would open things and cut ribbons and watch children doing folk dancing or whatever they would be doing, wouldn't we all be absolutely glued? Wouldn't it be fabulous? And people would be watching and commenting, saying they didn't want them, they did want them, and the whole profile thing would just go through the roof, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I think that a lot of people would like to see a happy ending to this terrible family rift. And it's really sad that Charles hasn't got a relationship with his grandchildren, Lilibet and Archie, over in America. And I do think that ultimately, although there's been a lot of hurt, it's like any family. At the bottom of it all is love. And I think that people would actually like to see a happy ending.
Let me go to Enon, who's on the phone in London. Enon, hello, thanks for calling. Do you think Prince Harry could give the royal family the lift that they need in popularity?
That goes without saying. Harry is the golden child, I'm afraid. He's the one that can lift up the monarchy. But hey-ho, 5 years ago, he desperately had to leave the royal monarchy because of rifts between the family and building up the press, the tabloids, and the ill things that have been said. Harry must be able to defend himself, and that's what he did. Should he return? No. He has a life now. He has a career that is global. He's doing very good around the world. He has a wife and children. What must he do? Leave them?
Well, no, why
He's
can't
a
they all come?
package
Why can't they
now.
come with him? They're a family.
The security issue, my dear. The security issue. He is still royal blood. He is still a son, and he should get that security. That's the least he could do. He gave his life to the military. He served his country, and that was rudely and disrespectfully taken from him. He should have his right to come and see his grandchildren, as one of your panel said.
How do you think?
But he's
I
a
think
royal.
Cristo would like to ask you something.
Ellen, that was his choice. He chose.
Do not use the word choice.
It was
Do
his
not
choice.
use the word choice. No one walks away from pomp and ceremony because they are, everything is well. It was not well. The Fab Four dissolved. Competition
Ellen,
and constant jealousy.
Why couldn't he then just leave, which I would have supported, and then just not say anything else? Why did he have to leave and then keep attacking the family
He has
via
not
books?
attacked anyone. He has defended his wife, family, against a tabloid that constantly rebuke him and discredit him. He has a voice and it should be heard. Why can't he tell his own story?
Well, he has told it. He's told it roundly and spare. But, speaking of someone who spent last year writing my own autobiography, there are things you put in and things you don't put in. And each one is a choice. You can decide how you're going to say it, what you're going to say, the things you suddenly forgot ever happened because you better not write about those, the things somebody reminds you happened, you think you won't necessarily put those in either. All that stuff. Thanks, Ellen, very much indeed. People get very, very heated about this subject. Let's talk to Mary in London. What do you think, Mary? What do you think would be the best thing for the royal family?
I actually think that people should stop judging Harry. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, he had a voice and he voiced it, and I think it should be respected. He did serve his country. He did not indirectly choose to leave the country. In a way, he was more or less, faced with that choice from other people. So I think, yes, you do need Harry. Harry's a bit fresh air. He's human. He has feelings and he has a family. And I think Prince Charles should definitely forgive him because nobody has not sinned, as we say, and family comes first.
All right, so you feel the king should forgive Harry and you think we'd all be pleased to see him back. Mary, thank you very much indeed. Let's have a word now with royal commentator Afia Hagan and see what her perspective is on all of this. Afia, hello, nice to see you. We're asking whether the royal family's fall in popularity could be countered, even rescued, by Prince Harry rejoining the firm, even maybe in a sort of temporary capacity, a few months a year or something like that. What do you think?
I think Prince Harry and definitely the Duchess of Sussex as well would be an asset to the working royals. We have 9 working royals at the moment. Only 2 of them are under the age of 50. So yeah, definitely they would be an asset. They definitely would be great at, being out there, being amongst the people. But the point is, they never will come back. They chose not to be working royals. So we cannot expect them to come back and be working royals and be part of the firm. They don't want to do that. There is an argument that actually we need more younger working royals. Yes, Harry and Meghan would be perfect at that, but they don't want to do that. They've chosen not to do that. He absolutely would be an asset.
But, Afia, when they made that choice, did they really know what they were doing and what they were going to opt for? Do you think they flew off out of this country thinking that the Duchess of Sussex would be flogging us all jam and endorsing trainers and jackets and that kind of thing and making a cookery series where she was putting, pretzels in a bag and tying a bow on it? When they left, surely they didn't envisage that was going to be their future, did they?
Well, when they left, they wanted to build their own life. They wanted to make their own choices. They wanted to be able to help the charities and do the philanthropy that they were passionate about and be able to choose those charities, which they have done. We saw Prince Harry making massive donations while he was here in the UK this week. And let's also remember that the Duchess of Sussex was writing the blog, The Tig, well before she was a working royal. She also used to teach things like bookbinding and arts and crafts. It's something she's always been passionate about. So they probably did envisage a life where they would take the passions and take the things that they loved and expand that further into their lives. And yes, it has turned into a hit series on Netflix in With Love Meghan. And yes, it has turned into As Ever. And yes, it has turned into the Invictus Games, which Harry started when he was a working royal and has continued. And yes, it's Archwell and the philanthropy that they are doing.
Afia, thank you very much indeed. Amy, you love the royals. Do you think there's any possibility at all that they may just soften their resolve not to work here as working royals, and that they, some kind of fluid arrangement could be conjured up?
But that's what they always wanted, wasn't it? Like the half in, half out, was they wanted it all on their terms. But if you're part of that big machine, can it really ever be on your terms? Like, the rules are there, the rules are set in stone, and that's how it is.
Let's ask the Fleet Street journalist. Is it possible, if there's the will, to somehow create a fluid kind of arrangement where they participate more?
I mean, I think where there's a will, there's a way. However, I do genuinely think that the British public wouldn't respect Harry and Meghan if they came back now. I think we'd need to see a lot more work being done. I mean, last time Meghan was in public in the UK, she was booed. So I do think that there is, serious concerns about their reaction to her.
You feel the same, Cristo?
You can't be a half in, half out royal. You can't be a bit royal and then sell tat the rest of the time using your royal name to do so. It would completely discredit the crown. It would discredit the king, and that's why it just would never have worked.
Let's bring in Avril. She's on the line in County Antrim. Hi, Avril. Thanks for ringing. What do you think? Do you think it's a final line that means Prince Harry can never come back and be a working royal again?
I don't particularly care about Harry. I don't think he's done one iota of good for Great Britain. He ran away to America and seemed quite happy there, so just leave him.
But he's just given an enormous donation of money to a very worthwhile charity only this week, and it's only Thursday. He hasn't been too shabby this week.
Vanessa, where did he get his enormous amount of money? Has Harry ever dirtied his hands or done a day's work?
Well, he served in the military, didn't he? So you can't knock that. So he certainly did that. I mean, Afia gave a very good account of the things that he has done that have been very constructive, including founding the Invictus Games, which is a hugely big deal and people do feel immensely privileged to be part of. And, it makes a big difference to people's lives. I don't think that's quite fair, Avril, to say, what has he ever done? Has he ever dirtied his hands? That's a bit extreme, isn't it?
I don't think so, but you're entitled to your opinion, Vanessa.
Yeah, and you're entitled to yours, and you're a lovely caller. I mean, do you think it's fair to say, what does he do? Does he ever really work?
I mean, he has been working. He's been writing books, doing interviews.
Well, he didn't exactly write that. No, he had a ghostwriter for the book. Nobody can say he slaved over the book. That's not true.
But like you say, he has served in the military, and he did actually sort of go out in active service. But at the same time, born into money and stuff.
Yeah, he has done good things. I mean, I think credit for the military. And have they just gone away and had some time away and just been quiet just while they gathered themselves, I think they could have come back. What a wasted opportunity. Invictus was brilliant. He did serve his country. They both could have been the most amazing support for William and Kate when they ascend to the throne as well. And it's such a wasted opportunity. I don't think it can happen now.
All right, let's bring in Cassandra in Glasgow. Hello, Cassandra. What do you think? Would you like to see him back?
Well, I have a mixed feeling. My feelings lies with this because Charles is the head of the church and he has to learn to forgive. I'm about forgiveness, to forgive him. I don't particularly want him back in the full public, but he could come back and do some occasion and do some charity. Meghan, no, because she decided to go for fame instead of class. You understand me? I don't care what anybody says. She knew what she was marrying into. Before she decided. So with her, she doesn't sit well with me. But with Harry, I just think it's about time. The Prince Charles, they forgive him. You understand? Everybody has a bad sheep in the family.
Well, you might say, Cassandra, that the cup of tea that they shared yesterday, which lasted, I think they say, between 45 and 52 minutes, was a sign of some kind of forgiveness or rapprochement, coming together. He could have had a cream cracker and been out the door in 6 minutes. They had the tea. They must have talked about something. It's got to be a good first step, hasn't it?
It is a good first step, but also you have to look at it from Harry's point of view. Bring your children to Britain. Let them see their grandparents. You understand what I mean? Let them see their grandparents. Heal the family. It's going to take a long time because of what he did. He hired the dirty linen in public, which he shouldn't have. But he was ill-advised and he was in love. We cannot fault him for that. But let us learn to forgive. As a nation, we have to learn to forgive because we're a Christian nation. We can't carry all these for long. Prince Charles, we don't know how long he has left. You understand me? You should bring the family together and forgive.
Cassandra, thank you for that. Thank you for that. And forgiveness obviously integral, and he's the head of the Church of England, Hannah. So, example to the nation.
Absolutely. And like I said before, I think there is a lot of people who would like to see brothers William and Harry reunite. And as we said earlier, it is quite a slimmed down royal family, and a lot of them are pretty old now. So they could probably do with a few, more heads coming in.
Is it going to happen though, Amy?
I don't know. I think the grandchildren thing is really sad. Like you say about how much you love your grandchildren. Like my parents and my in-laws as well, so close to my little boy. And we've seen what a great granddad Charles is. Like when he had Louis on his lap at the.
And also, he's meant to be the most fabulous grandfather to Camilla's grandchildren, to the Queen's grandchildren, who adore him. He's meant to be patient and reading to them and talking to them and storytelling and everything lovely you could imagine.
So the fact that Archie and Lily are missing out on that is really sad.
Let's have a final word from William, who's on the line in London. Hello, William. Thanks for ringing.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
All right, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with Harry and families have disagreements at times. Sometimes you separate and you don't always get on. And obviously in this instance, it's a difficult scenario for Harry because he's fighting against his heart as well as his family. And we know that how complex that can be at times. Well, with Meghan, she is a 21st working girl, and even before meeting Harry, she had her own movie career, had her own different style of living, and I don't think she was quite enticed of the reputation of the royal family. At the end of the day, that there are certain ways and certain traditions that even the great Queen Elizabeth wouldn't accept. So I think it's two hands and one foot. That would it be possible for maybe if Meghan wants to be separated from the family, that's fine. Then if Harry wants to do some part-time stuff, I think it'd be very difficult because that's not the traditional way, and I don't think
a part-time royal. William, thank you so much.